Win. Hello.
Fans, welcome to Red Shirt Friday. You will notice Braves players are wearing special red jerseys and camo hats as part of our honor and support for our troops.
3 games left of the regular season, and we're back here at Bourne Park. Welcome into Pregame Tomahawk Talk. I'm Ariel Tamir-Pinsky, joined by Adam Gotkin and Devon Jarvis. The Braves take on the Commodores for the 5th and final time tonight.
Yeah, final game of the regular season between these two squads. Series tied at 2-2 right now, so a Game 5 winner takes all today between Falmouth and Bourne. A really fun rivalry. Jared Saltalamacchia on one side for the Commodores. He was the assistant coach for this Bourne team in the 3 seasons before this one. He goes over to Falmouth, is now their field manager, so him and Scott Landers have got this rivalry. We've seen the emotion high from both sides, and you get to decide it today. Bourne has taken the last 2 against Falmouth in some pretty exciting wins. Bourne last time, just a week ago, beat the Commodores 5-4 right here at Bourne Park. That was after a mercy run loss, so they're hoping to once again bounce back after a loss and find a good win today against the Commodores.
We've already seen the lineup for tonight, and Gavin Kelly's back in that leadoff position.
This is just the third time all season that a player gets 2 starts in the leadoff spot. John LeGrande and Riker Wade have been really the main 2. There's been a couple guys that have been sprinkled in there, but now Gavin Kelly finally gets his second start batting first, and he was really good the last time he did it. Went 2 for 4, had a couple RBIs in Bourne's win last week over Wareham. So you're hoping that he can do good in that spot again. He's got a new hairdo today, so maybe that'll help him do good. He's been playing well recently. Usually you'd say maybe don't change things up, but who knows, maybe it'll work before playoffs start.
Well, Adam, supposedly he cut his hair himself, too, so maybe that'll help. But if we win tonight, we clinch, Devon.
Yeah, we've said this now twice. Bourne are going to again have a chance to win and into the playoffs. You want to get it today. You can't get any help from a Falmouth loss in another game because you're playing them today. But how sweet would it be to know your destiny relies on yourself in the game today against a team that you've kind of had a rivalry with this season? Should be a really exciting one. And Bourne doesn't want to wait another game to know whether or not they're going to make the playoffs. They want to finish that rumor and hush it today.
Well, it'll be a 7 p.m. pitch here from Bourne Park. Continuing with pregame coverage, I'm now joined by Lyle Alenstein. Lyle, we have a new pitcher on the Braves, and he's starting tonight. Reese Bowie, the left-handed pitcher from Wake Forest.
Yeah, he's coming off a freshman year at Wake Forest where he only threw in 2 innings. He's a 6-foot left-handed pitcher. Nothing like making your start late in the season with a playoff push on the line, but he's coming off a freshman year where in the 2024 class he was the number 80th overall recruit according to Perfect Game, number 3 left-handed pitcher in New Jersey. He's all league 4 times out of high school, so really strong player. It's going to have to adjustment with these Cape bats, but hopefully he makes a name for himself tonight.
And Riker Wade, who missed the last couple games, he's back in the lineup tonight. Sebastian Mexico, we saw pinch run last night. He's in the lineup tonight as well.
Yeah, 2 names back in the lineup. One for the first time in a few games. First one for the first time. Riker Wade was out, I believe, with an illness these past couple of games, but he's back. He's been arguably the best hitter this whole year for the Braves, as well as held down that short spot. So good to get him back in the lineup. And Sebastian Mexico is coming off a game yesterday. Tough seeing his Braves debut, tripping at third base to make the final out in that rally in that 9th inning. But this is a really strong player. Another late season addition coming from the NECBL, where he hit 375, 40 hits, 20 RBIs, 6 home runs. Really strong bat. He's making a jump in the competition, but this is a really strong player that he's going to make a name for himself in this league, and hopefully keep it going late in the season.
Well, first pitch will be at 7 p.m. tonight here from Bourne Park. I'm now joined by Cal Sesek from Cincinnati. Cal, you've gotten on base 9 times in the last 4 games. How well have you been seeing the ball?
Pretty good, I would say. It's probably the best I've seen the ball this whole entire season, continuing with my college season, so just kind of trying to keep it going as well as I can and just continuing to do what I've been doing every single day. So.
And you guys didn't have normal BP tonight. How do you make sure you're still warmed up, prepared to play?
Well, we were just sitting in the cages, so there's really no difference. We're just on the machine. The only difference is really you don't get to see where the ball goes, or you don't get to get your reps in the outfield, which we've been getting plenty of reps every single day, so I think we should be fine.
If you guys win tonight, you clinch a playoff spot. What needs to happen on the field for you guys to get that win?
Probably just doing the little things a little bit better. I think yesterday we hit into 2 double plays with the bases loaded, less than 2 outs. We had wild pitches, some base running mistakes. So I think just cleaning those things up and we'll be fine.
Thanks for joining me. Good luck tonight.
give me another countdown whenever you're ready. We're back at Doran Park for the final Friday of the regular season. Win and in. That's the goal for the Bourne Braves today if they want to make their 16th of 17th straight championship. Should be a fun one. They take on their in-division rival in the Falmouth Commodores in today's matchup. And Adam, this is a rivalry that was brewing since Game 1 when these two teams met all the way back in June. That first game was on June 25th. The manager for the Falmouth Commodores, Jared Saltlamachia, has ties to this Bourne organization, and you could just tell the emotion was higher from Game 1 between these two sides than really any other game.
Yeah, that first game between these teams definitely meant a lot, and you go back to the last game that these teams played in Falmouth, Scott Landers got tossed, so the emotions have been high, not just in that first game, but in a couple of the other ones this season, and it's what you expect when you got two teams that are usually rivals, Bourne and Falmouth, and it's always fun when these teams battle. Even last year when it was not Jared Saltlamachia, there was still a lot of fire when these teams faced off, and I don't think that's ever going to change no matter who's in the dugout.
Bourne hoping to once again make the playoffs today. They just need one win. If Falmouth lost yesterday against the Chatham Anglers, Bourne would have made the playoffs, but that is delayed just another day. This Bourne team has had some ups and downs recently, Adam, to sugarcoat it. Yesterday, a tough loss to Hyannis.
Yeah, a really tough one. Probably the most heartbreaking of the season. In the top of the ninth inning in a tie game, you get a runner on third base, and you have a wild pitch. He trips on his way home and gets caught up, tagged out at third. Those are just the things that you can't even draw up. How does that happen? And then in the bottom of the ninth, you let a runner on third, and he comes in to score on a wild pitch. Of course, that's how it works after you have a guy out at third in the top of the ninth. Just one of those games that you have to put behind you. You're always destined to have one of those games a season where you just come out of it thinking, what in the world was that? And the big thing is just putting it behind you. A new day is a chance for another win, and, playoffs coming up soon. The big thing is always to have a short memory, so it's going to be big for Bourne to try and bounce back today.
Well, the team they're facing today had certainly a comeback, a triumphant win against the Chatham Anglers. They were down 3-0 going into the bottom of the 8th inning. The Commodores put the bases loaded on with only one out. They scored 4 to take the lead. This team's not out of it yet. They don't control their own destiny. If certain teams win, Falmouth still won't be able to make the playoffs. But they are fighting and holding on, Adam.
Yeah, they really are, and it was a big 4-run comeback in the bottom of the 8th inning. They really had nothing going until that bottom of the 8th. The offense was just lifeless. They finished the game with just 5, but with 2 strikes and, with the game almost over, that's when their offense showed up. 3 of the 4 RBIs in the game were with 2 strikes. Gavin Gregor had the game-winning RBI in his debut, and, at this point in the season, you need those kind of how do we do that wins if you want to stay alive. Same with Bourne of how they had a how did you do that loss. That's just baseball at this point of the year. End of the season, guys are tired, just crazy stuff happens, and at the end of the day, you have to come out on top and then have a short memory and, not think about that game yesterday and try and win the next day.
Today, some new faces for the Bourne Braves entering this lineup. The man you mentioned before who was stripped at third, Sebastian Mexico, makes his first starting appearance with the Bourne Braves. He was really spectacular with the Valley Blue Sox in the NECBL just earlier this season. Was an all-star and now comes to join the Bourne Braves for their late playoff push, and hopefully their also playoff run when it happens. And on the other side, there's also, like you said, that new face in the lineup in Gavin Gregor, now making his second start, but a new pitcher on the mound for Bourne. He's yet to appear for the Braves. He was in the NECBL earlier this summer, Reese Bowie.
These late season additions are so key to your teams. You think of last year, Bourne signed David Lewis on the last day of July, and he ended up being a huge key in the run to the Cape League Championship. It's these guys that really make or break your season, these additions at the last second. If they're good, then you can do it and you can go and potentially win the league. If they're not, then, you usually end up losing in the first round of the playoffs. It's really those guys that end up making the difference.
Bowie making the start today out of Wake Forest, stands at 6'1", 192, and is a lefty hurler for the Demon Deacons. Bowie comes in with a really good resume from his time in the NECBL. He had a 1.5 ERA in 18 innings, total of 8 appearances and 5 starts, 9 walks to 27 strikeouts. A new addition to this pitching staff for Bourne. We saw Quinn Holt on Sunday make his first appearance and pitch really well. He talked about just the overall general additions, Adam, how important they are for Bourne and overall for any Cape team. But these arms have kind of been at a minimum when it comes to starters, Adam, and you get these new guys coming in to fill. How important do you see Quinn Holt and a guy like Reese Bowie stepping in if they can be good performers?
Well, Quinn Holt is going to be huge, and what he did back on Sunday against Chatham just shows that he is a guy you can trust come playoff time. He'll get the start on the last day of the regular season. You look at Reese Bowie, and he had a really good season in the NECBL, named a league all-star, and he didn't give up any earned runs in any of his starts. The one time he really struggled was at Cardines Field against the Newport Gulls. That's one of the weirdest ballparks in the country. They have 2 dugouts on the same side of the field. That's really all you have to know. It's absurd. It doesn't make sense when it comes to the dimensions. So, that can always play a factor at that field. Other than that game against Newport, the team that's also, by the way, the reigning champs and usually the best in the league, he was great. Didn't give up a single earned run. You look at his control, it was really good. Just 9 walks compared to 27 strikeouts. However, that control struggled a little bit in his last outing, 23 strikes to 25 balls. So, we'll see how he does here in his first start on the Cape.
On the other side, Torrin O'Haron getting the start for the Falmouth Commodores. A very inexperienced pitcher for this Falmouth team. Only 2 1/3 innings pitched, a 7.71 ERA. It's not uncommon recently for Bourne to see these really inexperienced guys. You look at Brandon Oliveira in the game yesterday against Hyannis, just 3 innings pitched. This is a team in Bourne that tries to take advantage of these starters, and hopefully they can do it again today, Adam.
Yeah, O'Haron is unexperienced this season, but you go to his past, and he has definitely had enough pitching where you kind of know who he is. And who he is a guy that's got a high ERA, a 9.53 last summer, a 7.27 in 22 appearances at Stanford, and a 7.71 so far in Falmouth. So you can get to him. It's all about just a good first or second inning.
Well, we'll step aside when we come back after the national anthem. We have your starting lineups, your umpires, your field assignments, and first pitch.
We thank you all for your incredible work this season. At this time, we ask that you please rise and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
Well, the stage is set. First pitch coming up. But before that, Adam, why don't you give us your starting lineups, first beginning with the Falmouth Commodores?
Leading off is the center fielder, Micah New. He is the guy to watch in this Commodores lineup. Leads the team in batting average, RBIs, runs scored, almost every single statistical category. He leads the entire Cape League in home runs. Batting second is the designated hitter, Caden Brumbaugh. In the 3 spots, the first baseman, Kent Schmidt out of Georgia Tech. He's played in over 30 games this summer. In the cleanup hole is the left fielder Gavin Gregory. He's playing in just his second game of the year. Started off his Cape career with a game-winning RBI last night. In the number 5 hole is the shortstop Adrian Lopez. Batting 6th is the catcher Mason Eckelman. He's playing in just his 5th game. Playing in his 6th game is the 7-hitter and second baseman Reese Maroney. And then batting 8th and 9th, two guys who have been with the Commodores basically the entire season, the third baseman Justin Osterhaus and the right fielder Antonio Morales. Torin O'Haron gets the start today for the Falmouth Commodores, his second of the summer. On the other side of things, for the Bourne Braves, Gavin Kelly leads things off and plays in right field. This is his second time leading off this season. The first time he did, he had a 2-for-4 ball game with a pair of RBIs. Batting second, the first baseman Key Lewis, appearing in his 35th game of the summer. In the number 3 spot is the third baseman Braden Holcomb. Batting cleanup back into the starting lineup after a couple of days off is the shortstop Riker Waite. In the number 5 spot is the left fielder Cal Sefcik. He has been exceptional since joining the Braves, batting .375 in 13 games. In the number 6 hole is the designated hitter Sebastian Mexico. He's making his debut in the starting lineup today after coming in as a pinch hitter last night. Batting 7th is the catcher Mark Quattrani. In the number 8 spot is the second baseman Ryan Cooney, coming off a really solid 2-for-4 ball game. And batting 9th to round out the starting lineup is the center fielder John LeGrande.
Well, we've got it right there. Your pitchers, once again, Reese Bowie on the side of the Bourne Braves. He gets the ball from Scott Landers and will make his first start for the Bourne Braves this season. And Torin O'Haron on the other side. The umpire alignment for you today starts with Mike Hinojosa behind home plate, calling balls and strikes. At first base, switching between first and second, is Jeff Guinea. And Joe Gravina is switching between third base and second, but will mostly be stationed at third. Let's get you that defensive alignment for the Bourne Braves here in the first inning. We begin with the infield, third baseman Braden Holcomb, shortstop Riker Waite, at second base Ryan Cooney, and at first base Cade Lewis. Cal Sefcik is your left fielder. John LeGrande plays center field, and Gavin Kelly plays right field. Catching the ball for Reese Bowie is Mark Quattrani. Quattrani now catching in his 10th game overall. Hasn't caught all those games. Sometimes has been the designated hitter. But that's the battery for you, and should be a very, very fun lineup and start against the most exciting player on this Falmouth Commodore team. You talked about it when you outlined him in the starting lineup, Adam, but Mike Anu has been spectacular. A real shot for Cape League Player of the Year this season, batting .293, leads the team in batting average, runs scored, home runs, and RBIs. He just does it all for this team, but frankly has not been playing his best baseball as of late compared to where he was at the start of the year, so hoping to pick that up. Falmouth on the ropes. They want to make this playoffs. They couldn't make it last year, so we're trying to return to that playoff stage for the first time in a few seasons. Mike Anu will have a lot to do with it if they can make it there. Bowie on the mound, a left-hander for the Bourne Braves, has a 3-pitch mix, fastball, changeup, and slider. Here's the first one on its way to Mike Anu. Just misses outside. The Bourne Braves right now at 17, 18-2, just need one win if they want to make the Cape League playoffs. They've made 16 of their last 17 and have been the best organization in the entire Cape for the last 4 seasons, including the last 3 under Scott Landers. There's no doubt about it. Under Scott Landers, 2 championships and a runner-up finish. That runner-up finish last year, falling short to the Harwich Mariners. 2 balls to start for Bowie. Here's the 2-0. That just misses, so 3 consecutive balls for the Bourne pitcher in his debut to begin. Control was a problem for Bourne a lot this season. Out of their pitching staff, we saw it a little bit yesterday as the 3-0 catches the inside part of the plate. Yesterday out of the starter in Fulger Boaz, Nate Wysong had 4 walks. Fulger Boaz had 3 walks, and Bourne lost the game against Brewster a couple games ago because of the walks from Landon White. That 3-1 pitch is inside and good for ball 4. Mike Anu now grabs his 12th walk of the season and is on first base.
Control really is everything, and that's the reason that Bourne has struggled this season. The Braves have the worst team ERA in the league at .481. It's because the pitching staff has walked more than anyone.
And, these are issues that we've seen ever since opening day when the Braves walked a lot in the top of the first inning, or the bottom of the first inning at the very beginning of the season and went down 6-0. So got to clean it up. Not necessarily how Bowie wanted to start, but we only had 9 walks in the NECBL, so you got to think that he can turn it around.
Caden Brumbaugh steps on. Also, you imagine a little bit of pressure just on a bigger stage now than he was with the NECBL. Cape League, mostly recognized as by far the best college baseball league in the country. You're facing the best pitchers and you're facing the best batters. Out of the stretch now is Bowie. A look at first after delivering a strike to Brumbaugh to begin. Caden Brumbaugh did not play in yesterday's game against Chatham, but the designated hitter today out of Oklahoma has been really solid. Batting .313 and now his 7th game. Just joined this Falmouth team 2 weeks ago. Overall, a lot of new faces in this Falmouth lineup and a lot of not so new. From bottom to top, there are 5 guys who have appeared in at least 29 games, including today, and the rest of them have appeared in 7 or less. Nothing in between.
It's crazy, but it's not all that different from Major League Baseball. You look at the trade deadline this year and how insane it was. Minnesota Twins traded away, 11 to 25 players on their active roster. So turnover is just a part of baseball at this point.
And especially in the Cape League, obviously for a different reason than the MLB, or than MLB, excuse me. A lot of players heading home. Bourne has lost a number of really good players in recent weeks. Cam Kojal, Kahio Lloyd, Logan Hughes.
Bourne has had 53 players this year. Falmouth has had 54. It's just nuts, and that's not counting some of these Bourne players who just been added to the team and haven't made their debuts yet. So some of those pitchers, Braves will jump up in the number of players that they have on the roster. That also doesn't include Sebastian Mexico either.
Swing and a miss on the 2-2. First strikeout of the day for Bowie. That's his 28th of the summer and his first with the Bourne Braves.
Big to bounce back after the walk with a strikeout. Just put that first batter behind you and reset. That's a big part of this game.
It's Kent Schmidt now. He's been one of the lifers for this Falmouth team, appearing in his 33rd game today. He's only missed 5. Him and Micah New have been a pair to watch out for all season. Micah New on first base, a speedy guy. 14 stolen bags this season, has been caught just 4 times. So if he gets himself into scoring position, he has the man second in RBIs at the plate for this Falmouth Commodore team. First lefty of the day for Bowie to face. He's already got him down 0-1 in the count. Overall, a very balanced lineup for Falmouth today. It starts with 2 righties, then 2 lefties, righty, lefty, righty, then finishes with 2 lefties. So 5 lefties to 4 righties overall. A good mix against whoever is thrown at them. Now, earlier today, we were following a development on whether or not we were going to even have this game. The rain from early this morning was pretty damaging to the field, and specifically at shortstop and third base, the conditions weren't looking great, but they got good enough to where we could play. But just something to watch out for.
Infield is very, very soft right now. You can tell just on your screen, you look at the pitching mound and that area in the front of the mound, just how dark it is. That's kind of how it is around third base. Very soft, and it's going to be tough for these infielders. Also, you have to think about a guy sliding in. They might get slowed down by just how muddy it can get, especially as the game goes on. It's going to be something to watch.
17 errors among the infielders for Bourne and 18 among the infielders for Falmouth. This Falmouth team with 50 errors is dead last in the league when it comes to that. These field conditions are not going to make fielding balls any easier, and Dorn's Park specifically is not represented by a field that's pretty consistent with its ricochets and bounces and grounders. Sometimes you don't know where the ball is going, and that's the real home field advantage for Bourne that these, especially middle infielders, Riker Wade and Ryan Cooney, have had the luxury of getting used to. Down the middle, the 2-2 pitch strikes out Kent Schmidt. Back-to-back Ks for Bowie. And he's got 2 outs in his opening inning.
Impressive velocity with the fastball early on for Reese Bowie. Touches 95 with that pitch. That's his fastest of the day. And we haven't really seen that many guys get up to 95 this year. Less than maybe you'd expect in a Cape League season. So definitely that's a good sign to see from a pitcher that you sign in August.
This Bourne team has had some solid pitchers here and there. They've had their studs, but a lot of them inconsistent. And when it comes to velocity, I feel like the highest we've seen has maybe been a outlier 97. But typically the hardest throwers on this Bourne team have lived in the mid-90s, around 95.
Look at first base there and just how much it's darker where the runners are. It's going to be really muddy by the end of the day.
Ball's popped up. Left side, Holcomb, the third baseman, waves everyone off and makes the grab. A really solid debut for Reese Bowie. And the Bourne Braves are squared up as they bring their bats out for the first time today. Take a break here on the Bourne Braves Broadcasting Network, Cape League TV, and be back in just a moment for some more Bourne Braves baseball.
We're offering 0% for 60 months on CAT's new lineup of compact track loaders. That's 0% for machines that have been redesigned from the ground up. 0% for new features and big comfort.
Nice cab, heated seat, great machine.
0% for more power and performance.
Picked up a big 4,000-pound block like it was nothing.
0% for work tools too. But there's a 0% chance this offer will last. So contact Milton Cat before there's 0 time left.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financing journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
A really important game today for both sides. Falmouth looking to keep their playoff chances alive. Even with a loss, they wouldn't be completely eliminated, but their chances a lot slimmer. On the other side, Bourne has the chance to make the playoffs today with a victory. It starts with Gavin Kelly, Cade Lewis, and Braden Holcomb for their bats, and we'll get that defensive alignment to you now from the Falmouth Commodores. Justin Osterhaus plays third base, the middle of the infield for Falmouth. Left to right goes Adrian Lopez at short, and Reese Maroney at second base. Kent Schmidt plays first. The outfield from left to right goes Gavin Greger, Mike Anu, and Antonio Morales. And catching for the pitcher, Torrin O'Haron, is the catcher, Mason Eckelman. After a really solid debut for Reese Bowie in the first inning, this Bourne team looking to strike first. It's something they've kind of struggled to do in their losses, but there's a clear pattern to the offense getting going early for Bourne and victories. Gavin Kelly up to the plate against O'Haron. Torrin O'Haron has not been a real experienced guy for Falmouth this summer. Only 2 1/3 innings pitched. Has a 7.71 ERA, but did get a good amount of innings in at Stanford in his collegiate season. He's coming off his junior year where he pitched 26 innings with a 7.27 ERA. Every appearance in relief. The appearance he made earlier this summer for Falmouth was a start. And he works with a 3-pitch mix, fastball, changeup, slider. Has got Gavin Kelly down 0-2 in the count. And you were talking about it earlier, Adam, but Gavin Kelly's really had a solid day last time he led off. Went 0 for 2 to begin the game, but in his final 3 at-bats had 2 hits and 2 RBIs. He swings and protects one to keep himself alive. Kelly also, as you mentioned, now the third Bourne Brave to have multiple starts in the 1 spot. Before it would just have been Riker Wade and John LeGrande. But Kelly's been playing his best baseball as of late and is looking to show that at the top of the order, which he has been. Last game, a solid game for Kelly, 2 RBIs.
Got his haircut today, and he looks a lot faster. He looks like a true leadoff man now.
Yeah, he did. He had that curly mullet. It was almost like an afro, just shaving off the sides, and
completely switched it up and just went with the buzz cut.
The buzz cut. He cut it himself, as Ariel found out, and you do look faster with the shorter haircut. Adam, I would like to see you race. You just got a haircut today. 2-2, and Kelly protects it to go foul.
You know, you have a little less drag.
Right.
Less surface area, so
it's like you never
maybe
see
a split second faster.
You never really see swimmers with long hair, the men that is.
Well, you just put the caps on anyways.
Right. It doesn't make much of a difference.
That's a big thing with like cleats, with how you look really slow in black cleats compared to white cleats.
Yep. The 2-2 up the middle. This one could be gobbled up, and it is. Lopez finds it, throws to first, but just late. There's that infield causing some difficulty. Lopez had to field it all the way on the outfield grass, and Kelly with a good run. Like you said, maybe a little faster, and beats out the throw.
Yeah, and that's definitely, I think, credit to the infield for that hit. Slow bouncing ball to short. If it's a regular day and it's much harder infield, then that's going to bounce a lot faster. But Gavin Kelly's going to take it, a infield single to start his day as the leadoff hitter.
Cade Lewis now has a man on first in Kelly. First lefty here for Torin O'Haron. Really good base hit to begin. It'll be interesting to see how these Falmouth players adjust to the infield. Adrian Lopez stomping on the ground, trying to see the stiffness of the dirt around shortstop. That was one of the spots that's really soft and will be the most difficult to field balls at today.
The worst right now definitely looks like first. You see right there how Gavin Kelly's having to kick all the mud off of his cleats. It's really muddy right next to the bag right now.
Yeah, first with just so much action. Runners diving back in, just taking their lead is going to make it muddy. Pitch misses again to Cade Lewis. Lewis went 1 for 4 in yesterday's affair, but has been a consistent bat for this team all season. Leads the team in RBIs, shares that lead with the 9-batter John LeGrande, and is up there in batting average, in doubles, and quite a few stats.
I wouldn't be surprised if today both teams are very cautious when it comes to stealing bases with how muddy it is at first. It's going to be hard to get a good lead and a good push-off. You could very easily slip or just not get full footing.
And that's a 4-pitch walk for Cade Lewis. Now his 16th on the year, and a runner in scoring position for Braden Holcomb. Holcomb has just been spectacular in the month of July. We'll say it until our faces are blue. But he's just made a big step up as a performer. Did not start out the season well, was an all-star in the Cape League in 2024 and wanted to kind of find that again. And he's been playing like an all-star for the past month. He swings and puts one into the outfield. This could score a runner. Lemoncelli's going to put up the stop sign and hold Gavin Kelly at third, but a bases loaded base hit for Braden Holcomb. And now 3 runners on, and it's a tough spot for Torin O'Haron.
Definitely the smart decision to hold Gavin Kelly at third. We saw him get thrown out trying to score yesterday in the first inning. That's just not something you want to do in back-to-back innings. No outs in the first. You have a chance to have the bases loaded with your cleanup hitter coming up. Just keep him loaded for this guy. Now Riker Waite's in the cleanup spot for a reason. The objective here is simple, clean up.
No at-bats for Riker Waite of the last 2 games. Waite, a player who's been spectacular for Bourne. No other way to put it. Leads this team in batting average, runs scored, triples, and home runs. Was an all-star for the Cape League and one of the most impressive players by his defensive output in that all-star game. He's trying to show off the offense here.
He's 1 for 3 with the bases loaded this year. 1 sacrifice fly and a 2 RBI single.
A sac fly would give Bourne the lead, but these runners are not going to get as good of a jump today because of the soft dirt. That's now 7 consecutive balls from Torin O'Haron. Going into this game, he had 3 walks to just 1 strikeout, so the control's certainly an issue. A whip of 2.57, and that will warrant a meeting between him and catcher Mason Eckelman.
Yeah, you know, in his first outing, he put runners in scoring position in each of the first 2 innings, but got out of it. It was the third where things kind of blew up. A pair of walks, a pair of doubles, and 3 errors that helped Wareham score 3 runs. Now, it doesn't look like the mound is that bad right now. There was a tarp over it, so it's not too wet, but you know, it's definitely not in the best condition, and anything like that can put a pitcher off their game.
He still works out of the stretch. And the pitch misses. A bases-loaded walk that brings Gavin Kelly home from third. The Bourne Braves are up 1-0 against the Falmouth Commodores.
On a game that you need to win to clinch the playoffs, that's how you get started. A bases-loaded walk with no outs in the first inning. You can't get any better than that on offense. Now you just got to build on it and really just put this game away early on. You know, this is an opportunity that you cannot let go. We've seen Bourne have opportunities like this at times this season and not fully take advantage of it. You just want to put this game away before it even starts.
Cal Sefcik, maybe the most dangerous batter on this Bourne team over the last week or 2. He's played in now his 14th game today, hitting .375 as 4 RBIs. He's just been spectacular. That's in the 5 spot. He swings and puts one into the outfield. It'll drop, into the diving glove of Antonio Morales. It won't prohibit Cade Lewis coming in from third, but just a spectacular play from the right fielder to potentially save a run. Holcomb, a fast guy. If that ball drops, there's a chance he comes home from second. Probably unlikely, but nevertheless a productive at-bat for Cal Sefcik, and Bourne now lead 2-0.
I'll disagree with you there. I think Holcomb scores 1,000%, and I think that could have been a triple if Morales doesn't catch it, because he went for the dive. If that gets past him, you know, yeah, the shortstop knew it was there, but even then it would have been a tough, or the center fielder knew it was there, but even then it would have been a tough play. He would have had to, you know, go back and get it, turn around, come home. If Morales doesn't make that catch, it's at least a 2 RBI single, if not even bases clearing with Waite speed on first and, you know, the potential of a ball getting past you.
Still just runners on 1 and 2. This is a very exciting at-bat for Bourne Braves fans. Sebastian Mexico, he was an all-star in the NECBL with the Valley Blue Sox, hit .375, had a total of 16 extra base hits, 8 doubles, 2 triples, and 6 home runs. That's 4 more than any Bourne player has had this season with the Braves. In yesterday's game, he came in as a pinch runner and defensive replacement. Unfortunately, it was not to his delight, slipped at third base and was thrown out. If he came home, it would have given Bourne the lead. Has a 1-2 count right now. He swings and protects one to keep himself alive. Sebastian Mexico today, the designated hitter for Bourne. Has already had a lot of experience this summer, played 28 games with the Blue Sox in the NECBL, and was really a candidate for Player of the Year before he left. So a huge pickup for Bourne, one of those big pickups that are so crucial, as you talked about before. He grounds one up the middle. This easily could be 2. Flip from Maroney to Lopez, and it's there at 1 for a 4-6-3 double play. And the Falmouth Commodores escape, just letting 2 by from the Braves. It's the Bourne Braves who lead here on the Bourne Braves Broadcasting Network and Cape League TV, which means we'll send it to the top of the second inning when we return here after this short break.
As she brushes it gently down, Ruben was strumming his painted mandolin. It wasn't laid with a pretty face and jade. Played the carnival parade. Charisse was dressing as pirouetting.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
One source has it all. The pros' go-to rental choice for the newest and most reliable equipment for any job. One source that has a team you can rely on, the people and a name you trust, with the tools you need. One source with a location near you and wherever the work takes you. Milton Rents, the right equipment when and where you need it.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
Back here for the second inning of play between Bourne and Falmouth. After a 2-run bottom of the first inning for Bourne, they lead 2-0 here in top 2. Adrian Lopez, the batter to lead things off. He's the 5 in the order. He's followed by 6 and 7 in Eckelman and Maroney. Lopez faces the pitcher in Reese Bowie, who had a really good first outing. He's making his debut with the Braves today and just saw 4 batters after walking the first. It was 2 strikeouts and then a soft contact pop out to third base. Bowie out of Wake Forest is another one of those Demon Deacon arms. Yesterday, the Bourne Braves started Nate Wysong out of Wake Forest. Here's the 1-1. And it's put foul toward the right side, but someone could be on this. Kelly, the right fielder, just trying to chase after it. Couldn't get there in time. Really tripping me up without the long hair. Doesn't look like Gavin Kelly.
No, it really doesn't, definitely. He looks like a different guy out there. It's going to be really interesting what happens to this Wake Forest pitching staff over the next few years. It was, without a doubt, I think you could make a strong argument, the best pitching staff in the country the last, maybe 3 or 4 years. You look at the stars that came out of there, Rhett Lauder, Chase Burns, and it was just the incredible job that their pitching coach, Corey Mascara, did with that pitching lab. Now, Mascara's gone, and, what's it going to be like with him gone? He's at Duke now, and, they've brought in a really good and experienced pitching coach to replace him in Eric Neeson, but, when you make a change, anything can change, and we'll see what happens.
Swing and a miss for Lopez. That's the third K of the day for Bowie. This Wake Forest program has more players from their squad than anybody right now in the Cape League. It's by a decent margin, too.
I think it makes sense when you look at this past season for the Demon Deacons and how things just didn't go their way. Injuries were a big part of it, but that's a program that has expectations to make it to Omaha every year. They made it a couple years ago when they had their incredible season where they were the #1 team in the country, so the expectation is to make it back there. And, there's definitely an emphasis on playing meaningful baseball during the summer to try and help them, make it back to the championship. You look at LSU, the team that, of course, won the national championship this past year, and they had a couple of the key players on the two teams that made it to the Cape League Championship. Bourne's center fielder, Chris Stanfield, was one of the top guys on LSU. The shortstop for Harwich, Daniel Dickinson, was one of the top Tigers. So, there's definitely a big part of the best players on the best teams in the Cape really making an impact in June in the College World Series.
LSU, not a ton of guys back there in the Cape, just because they know the product that they're going to put out is already so spectacular. Wake Forest adopting the strategy of let's get these guys as much experience as we can so they're fit for college season.
It's also different when you win the national championship. You're done the last week of June. You have to give the guys a week to celebrate and then a week to rest because you just made it all the way to the College World Series. And then by that time, it's the second to last week of the Cape League season. And at that point, most of the guys just stay home. So I think that's the big thing with not a lot of LSU guys up here is just you played so late and you had to celebrate winning a title. And I bet down in Cajun country they celebrate a little bit extra hard. So, I think any other year Jay Johnson's sending a couple more guys up here.
Paints the outside edge. It's going to be a big K day for Reese Bowie if this keeps up through 1 2/3. He's put 4 downs by way of strikeout. Yeah, I imagine LSU celebrates pretty hard, considering their jello count shot in Omaha.
It's a place that likes to have fun. I mean, so does the entire SEC. It's just a different world down there. They have all their stadiums, not just the SEC, really just down south where they have the tailgating in the outfield. You have Georgia where they have the frat house in right field. It's a party atmosphere when it comes to college baseball on the weekends.
Taking over all the major sports. Football, basketball this most recent season, and once again, baseball as they always have. The most strikeouts we've seen from a Bourne pitcher this season has been 7. Quinn Holt, Matt Shorey, and Colin Fisher, the 3 to do it. Matt Shorey's done it twice now, and Quinn Holt just did it this past Sunday. Roney digs back in. Just finished his sophomore season at Rhode Island, but has been really, really good for this Falmouth team in his short stint. Now in his 6th game today, batting 462. 6 RBIs, 6 doubles. He's averaging inning for Reese Bowie. Just spectacular. Let's send things to the bottom of the 2nd here on the Bourne Braves Broadcasting Network and Cape League TV. It's Bourne looking to extend their lead of 2-0.
When they come to take you down, when they bring that wagon round.
Cape Cod Healthcare, we're committed to excellence and compassion in everything we do, like helping people maintain their active lifestyles. Our innovative orthopedic program combines advanced techniques and leading-edge technology with highly specialized teams, including our nationally recognized Center of Excellence for Joint Replacement. Our focus is getting you back to doing the things you love, in the place you love.
The Center of Excellence and the quality of care that we can deliver makes all the difference to the patients. They understand that they can get the best care right here on Cape Cod.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we know there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. Now that's how we all win. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
There's a 0 chance that you'll want to miss our 0% for 72 months offer. For a limited time, CAT is offering 0% on the purchase of many new small excavators. That's 0% for better performance. 0% for next generation features.
Great machine. It's quite impressive.
0% for work tools too. But there's a 0% chance this offer will last. So contact Milton Cat before there's 0 time left.
Well, Bourne is looking great on both sides of the ball. 5 strikeouts for the starter, Reese Bowie, in just 2 innings. And the offense got going quick in the first, loaded the bases with no outs, brought home 2, and lead this in-division matchup against the Falmouth Commodores with a win today. Bourne get their playoff spot secured. They're going to try and make that no longer. Had the chance to do it yesterday with a win, couldn't do it. So here they are today against maybe their biggest rival of the season in Falmouth. Mark Quattrani, the first batter, against Torrin O'Haron. O'Haron now in his 2nd inning of work. Struggled a little bit in the first and doesn't have the control to start against Quattrani. That one clips him in the left shoulder and will put him on first.
That's definitely a scary one there, but looks to be okay. Just avoided getting hit too hard. Gets to take off his helmet and show off his new haircut. He got one today, so did Gavin Kelly. We actually went to the same barber. I was told by my barber that he had never heard of a player playing for 2 Cape League seasons like Quattrani had, but he looks to be okay, just laughing it off with the trainers there in Scott Landers, and he's going to jog over to first base.
I think it's haircut day.
It is. I mean, everyone's
You had a haircut.
haircuts.
2 of our other interns had a haircut. 2 players have had a haircut in Quattrani and Kelly. So
it's a new month. It's August,
right?
You know, we're into the, what, third of the season. We're, I guess, 2/3 the way through the year, eighth month, right?
Yeah, well, the season's,
So
or the day's not over, so maybe I'll join you guys after the game if this finishes quick enough, or you can just do it for me. And
I would not trust me.
Okay, well, you always got to try something new. It's Ryan Cooney now, the new batter for Bourne. Red jerseys for this Bourne team. It's Red Shirt Friday, honoring veterans here in the Cape League, a really special day. We've had quite a few special ones, but it's been a little while since Bourne has had a Red Shirt Friday back here at Doran Park. A one earlier this season. We saw a helicopter flyover. That was pretty cool. The last regular season one of the season here for Bourne is set to be a good one, hopefully celebrating the playoffs. Blooper left field, no one's there to get it. Broken bat base hit for Ryan Cooney. He's real excited about that one. And the Bourne Braves again have runners on 1 and 2.
Braves are putting the ball in the right place so far today. 6 come to the plate in the first inning. You play 2, and now the first 2 reach here in the second. A bit surprised that there's no action at all yet in the Falmouth bullpen. No one even up and stretching.
Torrin O'Haron, the starter, just last time in his only appearance with the Commodores as a starter, just went 2 1/3. He faces the 9-hitter now in John LeGrande. This will be him seeing everyone in the lineup now after LeGrande. New mint gloves for John. Haven't seen those. I'm not sure if it's just a cool colorway for him, but St. John's is certainly not mint and pink.
I've seen a lot of the guys get those kind of colorful gloves. I think it's just a fashion choice.
Well, the pitch comes home. Bunt laid down up the third base line. This could be a tough play. No one there covering the bag, and the ball goes away. Quattrani claps as he scores at home, and Ryan Cooney comes around too. This play close. The tag there as Eckelman gets Cooney, but the Bourne Braves bring one around to score. But no, Cooney also scored. The tag didn't come.
Eckelman just missed it.
Wow. Cooney just completely dodged the tag, and the Bourne Braves are up 4-0.
Seems like Cooney slid a little bit early and kicked some of the dirt up. I wonder if maybe that had a factor in it, of Eckelman just not really seeing where exactly Cooney was when he slid home. Definitely a bit of a risky send there at third, but even though the throw beat him, great slide and big job there by John LeGrande to hustle down the line, a perfect bunt. And, maybe not the best decision by O'Haron to throw to first. The first baseman Schmidt wasn't on the bag. Maroney, the second baseman, was there to try and cover it, but that was a rocket of a throw from O'Haron to try and get LaGrande. He wasn't going to get the out. He probably should have just pocketed it.
Really, really unique play. The throw was certainly there in time at home for Eckelman. Just a perfect slide by Cooney. So LaGrande now put at third as the top of the orders back up for Bourne. Gavin Kelly.
And I disagree with the official scoring that they've put down. They say that that is a throwing error on the pitcher. I would absolutely say that John LaGrande would have reached no matter what. That was a perfect bunt. There was no one really covering the bag. By the time Maroney got to the bag, LaGrande had already touched first. So they call an E1. I would have given a hit and then an error after that.
Yeah, I would have given the error to send LaGrande to third, but there was no one covering the bag, and either way, LaGrande was going to beat out the throw with how speedy he is. Kelly now watching 3 pitches by, the count 2-1.
Now a couple guys starting to get moving in the Falmouth bullpen. Looks like their catcher's stretching, so we could see some action soon.
Swing and a miss. That one brings Kelly out of his shoes. The count squares up with 2s, and this Bourne team just exploding on offense today against Torrin O'Haron. Came into this game with a 7.71 ERA. But a multitude of factors affecting this one, larger than just the pitchers. Jaden Waiwoda getting going in the bullpen for Falmouth as Kelly swings and bloops one just into shallow right field. An easy base hit RBI. LaGrande comes home, and the Braves now up 5-0 over the Doors in just the bottom of the second inning.
What a start for Bourne. Now you just got to keep on piling on. Don't give it up. Keep scoring. We've seen Bourne take early leads recently, and then they faltered later. So just keep piling on and end this game before it can even start.
Cade Lewis now in his second time up. He scored back in the first inning to give Bourne their second run of the game. It was Kelly on first who gave Bourne the lead to start. Really perfect baseball on both sides right now. Amazing pitching paired with some just as good offense. Cade Lewis has been with this Bourne team since day one. 35 games played, including today for him. 4 players in this lineup for Bourne have been here since opening day, and I think that says a lot about the culture that this Bourne team brings year after year. Scott Landers, during our banquet on Monday, where all the interns and host families and players were present, he said the way to winning games is developing a culture that keeps players here in Bourne for the whole summer. Well, his model has certainly succeeded. If the score holds today, Bourne makes their 4th consecutive playoff appearance under Landers, and in the 3 seasons before this, 2 championships and an appearance in the final. Lewis is going to send one to the outfield, and Kelly storms to third. This Bourne offense not slowing down at all in the bottom of the second inning. Runners on the corners with no outs in bottom 2.
This is what you love to see, especially after last night where the Braves scored just 3 runs to now just have an offensive explosion early on today and already get to the bullpen with no outs in the second.
Jared Saltalamacchia exits the dugout and will greet Torrin O'Haron on the mound to end his day. He only lasts 1 inning as we send things to a break on the Bourne Braves Broadcasting Network and Cape League TV. New pitcher for Falmouth on the other side.
Cape Cod Health Healthcare, we're committed to excellence and compassion in everything we do, like helping people maintain their active lifestyles. Our innovative orthopedic program combines advanced techniques and leading-edge technology with highly specialized teams, including our nationally recognized Center of Excellence for Joint Replacement. Our focus is getting you back to doing the things you love, in the place you love.
The Center of Excellence and the quality of care that we can deliver makes all the difference to the patients. They understand that they can get the best care right here on Cape Cod.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we know there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. Now that's how we all win. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
A pitching change for Falmouth as we bring you back here in the bottom of the second inning. No outs and runners on 1 and 3 as Max Marchetti takes the bump for the Commodores. Torrin O'Haron was the starting pitcher and couldn't last more than 1 inning. Went into the second, allowed 3 more runs to come home, and is still responsible for the runners on 1 and 3. That's Cade Lewis on first and Gavin Kelly on third. But Marchetti now to make his first appearance for the Commodores of this season. He spent some time in the NECBL with Ocean State, 13 games there, and will try and once again make an impact. With Ocean State, had a 6.92 ERA, all of his appearances as a reliever.
It's a tough field to pitch at where the Waves play. All Mountain Field in Kingston. It's a very, very short field. So not a surprise to see a high ERA there. You see that with a lot of guys in the NECBL, high ERAs. That is much more of an offensive league than the Cape League.
Starter for Bourne, Reese Bowie, came into today with a 1.5 ERA and is showing us why he's been so good. Holcomb at the plate takes the first pitch inside.
Here's the thing, though, with Bowie's 1.5 ERA. He gave up 3 earned runs, but he gave up 10 runs. So his runs per 9 was like 5. The ERA was 1.5 because of the amount of errors. He gave up runs. They just were unearned.
Deep breath on the mound, the 1-0. Holcomb takes inside. It's been a patient day for Bourne at the plate for the most part. They've been waiting for their pitch and have swung really well on the ball once they've found it. Not a ton of swing and misses. No strikeouts yet for this Falmouth pitching staff. And there's a swing and miss from Holcomb. 2 balls, 1 strike on this important game for both sides. It's game 38 of the Cape League season. Falmouth right now 5th in the West Division, just 2 points back of making the playoffs. They can still get in with a loss today, but things become just a little bit more difficult. The 2-1. Holcomb puts up and back. As long as Cotuit stays winless until the final game of the season where they play Falmouth, that game could decide who goes in depending on the tiebreakers between the Commodores and the Kettleers. Fun always to have a game to decide the postseason standings. Here's the 2-2 from Marchetti. Curveball way up and in. Holcomb dodges, and the count runs full. Couple scores around the Cape League. 2 finals already. Brewster took down YD and Katuitt took down Wareham. So with the Katuitt win, things become a lot more difficult for Falmouth. The 3-2. Holcomb fouls it off to the left side. More importantly, with that Katuitt score, Wareham drops now their 3rd straight. So if Bourne get the win today, they share the first place spot in the West and do have the tiebreaker over the Gatemen. So the 1 seed hopes are still alive for Bourne, which is massive. We were talking about it yesterday. That's partially why the loss was so heartbreaking, because you weren't really expecting the Gatemen to drop that many more, but they do. Full count pitch is inside, and that walks the bases loaded.
Now that is from Vanderbilt, shortstop number
Devin, I'm going to
3,
go off
right
topic here
away.
for a second. I'm going to make a big prediction.
Okay.
I think we're going to have the best sunset of the season here at Dorn Park tonight. It's setting up for a gorgeous one. You got some pink already in the outfield. Behind us, it's starting to set a little bit. You got the perfect, like, super thin clouds. I think we're setting up for a gorgeous night.
I'm trying to think. We had one really beautiful sunset before this. I believe I took a picture of it. And if I can, we can try and get it on the broadcast to compare. Riker Waite, the cleanup hitter at the plate. Once again, the base is loaded for him. He got a walk in this situation last time. He's facing Marchetti here for the first time today.
It's always a bit frustrating to walk with the bases loaded. You know, that's a chance for you to get a bunch of RBIs and you get one with the walk, but you always want to swing the bat. So a chance for Wade again here. He bet his eyes are wide open.
Curveball misses high. The count 2-0.
Just have to make sure to not get too over aggressive, but if there's anything that Riker Wade has proven this year is that he's a very mature hitter, so you don't think that you'll ever see the issue with him of getting over aggressive when you're seeing a lot of balls.
And the count runs 3-0. It's really been impressive, the maturity shown from Riker Waite. He's a spry young man, 18 years old and 341 days.
I think he's the 3rd youngest player to play in the Cape League this year, one of just a few 18-year-olds.
Passed on his senior year of high school to go to Vanderbilt. And he's looked special. Marchetti finally finds one in the zone, so the count will now be 3 balls and 1 strike. Still no outs for Bourne in this bottom 2 inning. And the lead 5-0 for the Braves. The 3-1, this one ripped out into the outfield, way back in left. It's Gregor who's onto it at the warning track, and he makes the grab. Tagging from 3rd is Kelly. He'll be way safe at home, and that's another one for the Braves. 6-0 the lead after the sacrifice fly, and Bourne are hot. It's now the 2nd sacrifice fly of the day for the Braves. Riker Waite gets his 2nd RBI as well with that. It was the man at the plate, Cal Sefcik, who had the last sac fly. He's just been ultra productive with Bourne all season long. This inning far from over. Only 1 out right now, and if Mexico gets up to the plate after Sefcik, it'll be Bourne who hits through the order. The 0-1. Put to the left side. This one could be tough. A backhand by Lopez, and he can't grab it. Another time, the dirt monster eating up this infield, specifically Lopez. And the Bourne Braves have the bases loaded again.
It's really tough out there. I wouldn't be shocked if the umpires at some point maybe ask for this field to be raked in the middle of the game. You know, you see it in the majors where they'll go through and drag the field in the middle.
Should we do a little YMCA?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just it's tough right now. You have to give all the props to the Bourne staff for doing everything that they could to even have a game today, because it was absolutely downpouring last night. It was really, really bad. And without a tarp, the infield was just soaked. It was a river. And so to even have a game is impressive. Just might have to do a little bit of in-game maintenance. Now, last year there was a game, I don't remember exactly the day, but it was against Katuitt near the end of the season, and we had a bunch of rain, and they were dumping a bunch of top dressing and just anything they could on the pitcher's mounds in between innings just to keep it going because it was getting so muddy. At this point of the season, you just got to play through stuff.
Ball ripped out to right field. It's up the line, and Morales makes the grab. Coming home to score again is Lewis, and that's run number 7. Sebastian Mexico shows out for Bourne, gets the sac fly right there. And we see the power on display from Mexico, his first productive at-bat of the season after last time grounding into a double play. But this field, like you were just talking about, Adam, really not going to be easy today. So it relies on your pitcher quite a bit to get strikeouts and end at-bats at the plate. Thankfully for Bourne, it's been Reese Bowie who's done that at pretty much the highest level. 7 players, he's seen 1 walk, 1 pop out to third, and the rest strikeouts. So you really want flyouts today. I guess that means you focus your pitches a little higher in the zone possibly, or rather lower. So these players get under it, put it up. Mark Quattrani gonna take the first 2 pitches for balls. It was ruled an error on Adrian Lopez. Safsik does reach on a fielder's choice, says Lopez was looking to make the throw at third to get Lewis out. So that's now the second error of this inning and of the day for Falmouth as Quattrani rips one deep out to left field. It's all the way back at the wall and just into the glove of Gavin Greger. The ball travels way deep at 352 feet, but not enough to go over. So the Bourne Braves settle for 5 runs here in the bottom of the second inning and lead the game 7-0. Before we send things to a break, a quick word from our beloved sponsors. Keystone Place at Buzzards Bay, Bourne's premier senior living community, conveniently located adjacent to the Cape Cod Canal. Visit us at Keystone Place at buzzardsbay.com. Marty Chevrolet, your dealer for the people, proudly supports the Bourne Braves baseball team. See all our cars and trucks at martychevrolet.com and go Braves. We'll step aside now for a break here, top of the third on the other side, and the Braves up 7-0.
Offering 0% for 60 months on CAT's new lineup of compact track loaders. That's 0% for machines that have been redesigned from the ground up. 0% for new features and big comfort.
Nice cab, heated seat, great machine.
0% for more power and performance.
Picked up a big 4,000-pound block like it was nothing.
0% for work tools too. But there's a 0% chance this offer will last. So contact Milton Cat before there's 0 time left.
Well, everything's going right today in a game that's not a must-win, but would be a lovely win for Bourne. They're doing just about everything perfect. Reese Bowie on the mound, having the best start of any Bourne pitcher on the season. 5 strikeouts through just 2 innings, and the offense has put up 7 runs in that same span. It'll be Justin Osterhaus, Antonio Morales, and Micah New up, 8-9-1. The first pitch to Osterhaus is popped up to the left side. It's the shortstop Wade on it. In foul territory, he makes the grab.
Real long run for Riker there. That ball just kept blowing. It seemed like there was a small second where it might be a little bit too far away, but he's so fast and just caught up to it in time.
We talked about how the last thing these pitchers want to leave their defense is balls in play with ground balls. We've seen Falmouth really struggle with that already in this game, and it's been no ground balls to start here from the pitcher in Reese Bowie. Every single out has either been a infield pop-up or a strikeout. Antonio Morales now up. He's appeared in all but one game for the Commodores this season, and it's a 2-0 count to start for Bowie. Morales leads this team in walks, doubles. Also gets caught stealing a few too many times. Leads the team in caught stealing. There's one over the plate for Bowie. He's the only remaining starter in this game, as Torin O'Haron was brought out after his first inning of work. Entered the second, but allowed too many runs, 3, and then he was pulled out. His final line, we have it. We'll give you it after this pitch. The 2-1 is put up, and just on top of home plate, it's Petrani who calls for it, and he can't make the grab. Just bounces off of his glove. Probably a tough one, a little cold, a little windy. So alive is Morales.
Always hard when the ball gets stuck between the lights, and now the umpires are going to talk about something here. Quattrani definitely was in foul territory, I thought, if that's what they're going to talk about.
The ball bounced and landed in foul territory, too. Mike Anu, the on-deck batter, is in the home plate dirt circle like he's about to come up.
Morales is over by the batter's box, though. Scott Landers is already halfway out of the dugout.
He's probably just as confused as us. And they're going to say he's out. Jared Saltalamacchia exits the first base dugout to contest and wonder what the call could be.
Did Morales kind of run in front of Quattrani or hit him with the backswing?
It could be interference. And Saltalamacchia not really vocalizing his opinion, but is just confused with the call. As the umpires go back, Mike Hinojosa with the call there to rule Morales out. We'll get you the official scoring in a moment here once it's released for us. Right now, nothing, but for now, Mike Anu to the plate.
Marshall, center fielder number 3, Mike Anu.
So 2 outs here in the third. Jared Saltalamacchia is saying Antonio Morales has never broken a rule. Saying the honorable batter that he is, so that likely explains it. Maybe he broke a rule or committed interference. Mike Anu is the only one to reach base this game for the Commodores. Swings into the 1-1 count. Ever since New came up, was sent to first, it's been perfect baseball for Reese Bowie. 5 strikeouts and 8 total outs. This would be 9 right here if Bowie can get it. The 1-1, just inside. No surprise that Mike Anu is the player to get on. He's Falmouth's best bat. And also was the first game for Bowie. He hadn't pitched in over a week going into this. The 2-1 is swung on and missed. Had only thrown a 5-pitch bullpen. That was yesterday, where he also arrived yesterday. So it's been a little while since Bowie has started a game, back when he was in the NECBL last week, but clearly no signs of fatigue or needing to warm up. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Micah New. New went 0 for 4 yesterday with a strikeout. Overall, not the most spectacular offensive day for Falmouth. It all came in the 8th inning where they scored 4. Were shut out other than that. The 3-2 pitch. New fouls it back.
So officially in the books right now, it's Antonio Morales out on batter interference. He didn't run into Mark Quattrani unless he ran into Cade Lewis, the first baseman, going up the line or something like that. I'm not sure where exactly the interference was.
The 3-2, swing and a miss. That's K number 6 for Bowie, and he's got 9 perfect batters. 7-0 the score for Bourne. Maybe they make it double digits here on the other side of this break on the Bourne Braves Broadcasting Network and Cape League TV.
If I had a gun for every ace I've drawn.
It hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
One source has it all. The pros' go-to rental choice for the newest and most reliable equipment for any job. One source that has a team you can rely on, the people and a name you trust, with the tools you need. One source with a location near you and wherever the work takes you. Milton Rents, the right equipment when and where you need it.
Thanks for sticking with us. It's a chilly Friday evening here at Dorn Park. Maybe the coldest of the year. In the 60s right now, 64, but the offense for Bourne, anything but chilly. They are red hot. 2 runs in the first, 5 in the second. And here in the third, they've got a 7-0 lead against the Commodores. Max Marchetti still on the mound for Falmouth. He came in relief. Ryan Cooney up to the plate. He came around to score back in the second along with 5 other Braves. He swings and rockets one into the gap, left side, and once again on with a strong base hit. This Bourne team hit around their order, showed 10 batters in the second inning. And this easily one of their best starts to a game. They were up 7-0 just 2 weeks ago against Orleans. 2 weeks ago today, they had a 8-run first inning. But as far as consistency goes, this might be ahead of those two because they're showing offense in all 3 innings to begin. John LeGrande, the batter, up with Cooney on first. I think that's something you want to see, Adam. It's the consistency where you have a good inning, but you keep it going. As LeGrande puts one up the right field line, and that's going to send Cooney around to third base. A double for John LeGrande, and 2 in scoring position for the Bourne Braves. A spectacular piece of hitting for the 2 batters to begin. And the Commodores have no answer right now in a game that will decide the season series between these 2 teams, and with a victory would send Bourne to the playoffs.
Braves are just swinging the bat so well right now, making contact on feels like almost every swing. There hasn't been a single strikeout yet, and there's, barely been any outs in the field. There were 3 sac flies in the first 2 innings, so that's half of your outs in this game already. You had 1 double play and a fielder's choice, so there hasn't been a single out other than that double play that didn't lead to a runner advancing.
Spectacular.
Of course, other than the inning-ending fly-out to left, which was a home run in about half the parks in this league from Mark Cutrani. It's about 355 feet into left field.
The 1-0. Kelly at the plate takes it inside as the ball comes loose of Eckelman's glove. 2 balls, no strikes, no outs.
You want to get this above the 10-run threshold and give yourself a chance to win by way of the mercy rule. Save some of those bullpen arms for the last 2 games of the season. And again, you just talked about that Wareham game 2 weeks ago when Bourne went up 9-0. They almost lost it. Wareham scored 8 in the final couple of innings in that game. So, it's not over until it's over, and you want to get this game over early on if you have the chance.
Beautiful curveball there for strike 1. Yeah, that was the big critique with this Bourne team in those games, is they had no ability to show their offense in more than that beginning part of the game, but also have the defense to back up their offense. Today, they've shown both so far. I mentioned it earlier, Adam. We didn't get to expand on it, but I don't know if we've seen a start like this where Bourne scored this many runs, but is consistently showing the offensive prowess.
Yeah,
it's not just coming from 1 inning.
It's just pure domination right now, and it's everyone in the order 1 through 9. Everyone's had a productive at-bat so far.
Here's the 2-2 pitch on its way to Kelly. He swings, hits it to the right side. Tough play. Gobbled up by Maroney. Soft toss to first, but it's good for an RBI for Kelly. We'll be out on the 4-3. Cooney comes to score, and now an 8-0 lead for Bourne.
First baseman number 23, Cade Lewis.
Kelly again with an RBI. That marks Kelly's 5th straight game with a run batted in. All the way back against Chatham, he had a home run for 2 RBIs, and going into that game, only had 7 on the season. Lewis, the batter, now swings and flies one out of play to the left side. But he's just been a new version of himself recently, and that's why you see him in this top of the order spot, is because of how productive he is. And Bourne are enjoying the fruits of that labor.
It's gone. And Medium played it up.
Slow grounder right side. Throw at the plate is there in time. LeGrande can't get it as he dives in. And he's getting up a little bit slow. Seems as though he may have just gotten a good bit of dirt in his eye. So Lewis does reach on the fielder's choice as LeGrande goes back to the dugout.
Baseman number 34, Braden Holcomb.
Tough decision to come home right there, but Bourne not really worrying right now about being conservative. Just throwing as many guys at this Falmouth team as possible. Braden Holcomb, 2 productive at-bats so far. Base hit and a walk. He was the first batter Marchetti saw in the 2nd inning. And he takes the first pitch for a ball upstairs. Action in the Falmouth bullpen. Marchetti trying to keep things in control for the most part. Has only allowed 1 earned run in so far. The 1-0 misses inside. That final line for O'Haron is just 1 inning pitched with 6 hits, 7 runs, 6 of them earned, with 2 walks and no strikeouts. Still no strikeouts from this entire Falmouth pitching staff yet.
Struck out just 3 in all of last night's game.
Not completely uncommon through 2 2/3, but probably uncommon now through 20 batters. Three balls, no strikes, 2 outs. Holcomb could reach for his 2nd walk on the day right here. And he'll take it for strike one. So far, the least productive batter for Bourne has been Mark Quattrani, who's gotten on with a hit by pitch and has a flyout. He scored on that hit by pitch, and that's the worst offensive player so far today. Hard hit ball left side, backhand by Lopez. The dribbler there is not in time, and Holcomb beats it out. Once again, Lopez playing really far back in the dirt. The ball's coming slow to him, and we don't see him move up defensively. I mean, these players know far more than we do, Adam, but just to my guess, they feel like you would want to play a little further up so the ball comes to you faster.
Yeah, it's just hard because anyone who's played at this field also realizes that there's also the chance for a really high kickoff of the lip, so you have to be prepared for that and play a little bit further back just to be safe.
Try and find that happy medium. Riker Waite up now. RBIs in both of his first two at-bats. He bats from the right side here against a lefty arm in Marchetti. On second is Cade Lewis. On first, Braden Holcomb. And the outfield a little bit shifted to the left. Waite takes the 0-1 upstairs. That now his 17th RBI on the season. And Waite leads this team in RBIs now. Here's the 2-1. Misses inside. 2 outs on the board. Falmouth once again looking to escape a damaging Bourne inning. Bourne have scored in all 3 so far. 2 in the first, 5 in the second, and 1 here in the bottom of the third. 9 hits. They're 1 away from double digits. The 3-1 pitch. It's bottom of the zone for strike 2. The payoff. Upstairs, and once again, Riker Waite draws a walk. Now his 14th of the year. It loads the bases and leaves it for Cal Sefcik. He had an RBI back in the first with a sacrifice fly. Will be a call to the bullpen before we see Sefcik, so we'll have to step aside here on the Bourne Braves Broadcasting Network and Cape League TV. Quick moment. Then we come back with a new pitcher out for Falmouth.
Cape Cod Healthcare, we're committed to excellence and compassion in everything we do, like helping people maintain their active lifestyles. Our innovative orthopedic program combines advanced techniques and leading-edge technology with highly specialized teams, including our nationally recognized Center of Excellence for Joint Replacement. Our focus is getting you back to doing the things you love, in the place you love.
The Center of Excellence and the quality of care that we can deliver makes all the difference to the patients. They understand that they can get the best care right here on Cape Cod.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we know there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. Now that's how we all win. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group. Protecting the pot.
Back here on the Bourne Braves Broadcasting Network and Cape League TV, we still live in the bottom of the third inning with 2 outs, but a new pitcher out for Falmouth, our third pitcher of the day in just 3 innings. And for good reason. This Bourne offense has just been incredible. Bases loaded right now, already have 9 hits and 8 runs. They are shutting the doors out right now. Cal Sefcik is up to bat. One of the better batters on this Bourne team, already has an RBI today and will look to once again bring this Bourne run total even higher. The pitcher on the mound for Falmouth is Andrew Rogovic. Spent some time in the NECBL before, and this is his first appearance with Falmouth. With Ocean State, had a 10.38 ERA in his 10 appearances, just 5 of them starts. And the righty out of Northeastern will look to keep this game as close as it can be.
Man, we're just getting a bunch of Ocean State Waves representation
right?
today. Bourne starter, Reese Bowie played there, and this is the 3rd Commodore today, 2nd to play for the Waves this year.
Max Marchetti, the reliever who just left the game, also an Ocean State Wave. So Rogovic is dealt a pretty rough hand, but has got Sefcik down 1-2.
It's one of the big reasons why the NECBL is the #2 league in the country, because it's so close to the Cape. And at the end of their season, like you see now, all those guys come here to the Cape.
The 1-2 pitch to end the inning. Upstairs. No strikeouts yet for this Falmouth pitching staff. Would like to end it here at the plate. The 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball there, inside for strike 3. A great pitch to get the first strikeout of the day from Rogovic. And the Falmouth Commodores limit things to just 1 run from the Braves here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. We won't step aside just yet. Our sideline reporter, Ariel Tamir-Pinsky, is with us for more.
Devon, the Braves clinch a playoff spot tonight by winning this game tonight. And I caught up with Cal Sefcik before the game. He's been a great player for this team since returning this season. He's gotten on base 9 times in the last 4 games. And he said concentrating on the little things tonight is going to be a key to them winning. Last night they had some unfortunate mistakes, base running errors, wild pitches, hitting into double plays. If they're able to clean those up, they'll be able to get the win, and it's looking good so far for them tonight. They didn't have their normal batting practice before the game, but Cal said with the reps they've been getting, they should be good to go.
Thank you so much, Ariel. We'll take things to a break here on the Bourne Braves Broadcasting Network and Cape League TV. On the other side, Adam Gotkin ups on the play-by-play, and we have a special guest joining us on the broadcast.
At the Mass State Lottery, we know there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. Now that's how we all win. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
Welcome back to Durham Park, everyone. We are here in the 4th inning. The Bourne Braves lead the Falmouth Commodores 8-0, and as we spoke about earlier, the weather today has caused for some field difficulties, so they're out there just fixing it up before the 4th inning, and we're so happy to welcome on a very special member of the Bourne Braves family, Andrew Grover, the 2007 broadcaster for the Bourne Braves, all the way back at the very beginning of broadcasting on the Cape. And Andrew, now you're back here. How's it feel to be back at Dorn Park?
I remember when they dedicated the lights. This is surreal. Being with you both, you're so talented. It's just surreal to see this team. I mean, what have they built these last 5 years? How many championships have they been to? 5 of 7?
Yeah, it's
5 of 7, the last 4 consecutive, 2 championships in there, 2 of the last 3. It's been really, really cool. I got to ask you, the atmosphere here at Dorn Park, is it at all similar to what you experienced back in 2006?
It's better. It's better. It's brighter. A lot of things are similar, but the fan support I'm noticing is a lot larger. It really seems. Have you noticed over the last couple of years?
Yeah, I mean, this year has really been special, I think, even better than last year. You know, this community knows that they've got a winning baseball team here, so they are really doing everything that they can to support it. And I'm sure that this is something that you saw when you were here, but, you know, Bourne is such a special place because of the family atmosphere that you have here. I mean, we just saw you talking with Jenna Beth Ferguson, the vice president, who's been here all the way back since then. And, I mean, isn't that one of the things that makes this place special, kind of that family atmosphere?
If you don't remember where you came from, that's my thing. You remember where you came from. Don't forget the people that helped you get where you want to be. I am the most loyal person on earth. I will never forget my summer here. I just texted Brett Basham, who was our starting catcher from Ole Miss. For Lance Lynn, he was their catcher. And he was like, you got to be kidding me. And he hit .310 this year. Mitch Moreland was on our team that year. He played 06, 07. He had a great career with the Sox. So, you know who? Buster Posey with Yarmouth Dennis. I mean, just you guys will see as you grow in your careers, the guys you'll remember from your seasons here, you'll never forget it.
That's spectacular.
You just said it there, Mitch Moreland, of course, a major leaguer. He was a two-way back then, wasn't he?
Yes.
What do you remember about him? Was he one of those guys that jumped out to you? Do you remember in the moment of you thought he was going to be a big leaguer?
You could just tell. I mean, he plugged the gaps. Obviously, I can't even remember. I can't believe you remember that he pitched.
I just did a little bit of Googling, to be fair.
Yeah, but, you know, you could tell back then who was elite. But, again, some guys would hit 210 for their college team and then come here and at 320. There's a lot of parity.
Yeah, nothing has really changed that much. At the end of the day, baseball is baseball. And we're here in the 4th inning at Durham Park. We are finally ready to get back going after they've dragged the field. And it does look better now, still a little bit muddy after the rain, but the Braves lead at 8-0, and Reese Bowie is back out onto the mound for the Bourne Braves. So, Andrew, something interesting that we have here in this game is Bowie's making his Braves debut today. There's 3 games to go in the season. The roster turnover has been crazy out here on the Cape recently. Is that something that you remember having to deal with this much?
Well, yeah, I mean, because the draft used to be 50 rounds, right? And then now that it's 20 and it's happening right in the middle of the season, and then guys are going plucked from Team USA and then coming back. But they're not called temp players anymore, right?
Well, they still have temp contracts depending on the player, but every guy here now with the Braves is a end-of-season contract player.
Okay.
Yeah.
But how are they making their debut tonight? That's
well,
it is.
It's really what separates, you know, those teams who aren't able to make the playoffs as much to the Scott Landers-led Bourne Braves. Reese Bowie, he makes his first appearance in 3 innings, has 6 Ks, and is just coming to this team. That's why Bourne wins championships, and that's the standard here.
Count now 0-2 to Caden Brumball. He's 0 for 1 today with a strikeout. And by the way, there has been a change in the field defensively. Drew Wires has entered the game at third base, and Braden Holcomb, who is at third, is now in center as John LaGrande has moved to the bench after he got a little bit shaken up trying to slide home.
It's crazy, too, because when I was there, only a couple teams made the playoffs. It seems like, when did that get extended?
I'm not sure exactly when they changed it. I know they do it. They change it a lot. This year they actually just changed the playoff format from a 1-game first round to a 3-game first round. So right now it's 8 out of 10 teams make it.
Okay.
And then you have 3 3-game series until you get to the finals. So, you know, right now where we are, Bourne is a win away from clinching a playoff spot, yet they also could miss the playoffs entirely, and they could also get first place in the division. So with 3 games to go, you're looking at first place, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, or 5th, pretty much.
This is an important game.
It is. This is a really important game. Falmouth cannot be eliminated today, but it would make things very difficult if they do lose today to make the playoffs. The 1-2 to Brumball on its way, and it misses upstairs.
I mean, this is the best summer league in the country. I mean, you guys have to love going on the road and seeing all the fields.
Yep.
There's no feeling like Lowell Park.
That's a beautiful field. We don't love Katuitt. No, just kidding.
Yeah, but we'll be back there tomorrow for the second time this year. Take me back to any great memories that you have in the Cape League, because, I've spent now 5 years in summer ball across 3 different leagues, and I always remember some of those special games. Are there any in particular of just this player that jumps off the page to you that you think, I will never forget this moment?
Yeah, a guy by the name of Josh Satin. He played 2
Okay.
years in the Cape Cod League. He had a cup of coffee with the New York Mets, but he had a monstrous game-winning home run that got us towards the playoffs.
That's spectacular.
And you guys are going to have amazing careers. I can tell you're both unbelievable people, and I just hope you cherish these memories as you progress, because there's nothing like the summers here. I hope you guys do this until September, whenever I hope we go. I'm not going to say it, but I hope the Braves have one heck of a run and get it done.
3-2 is fouled off. Well, Bourne has made it to 4 straight championships, so the expectation here is to always make the playoffs. And Bourne has only missed the playoffs 1 time since you were here.
I don't even understand, how is that? Are we known as like the Yankees? Like honestly, like how are we perceived on the road now? Like with all this success?
Almost. Well, I think with the recent success, yes, because 4 straight divisional championships. It kind of has that. As there's called strike 3, 7th K of the day for Reese Bowie. He just continues to dominate as we're now here into the 4th inning. I think the one thing that kind of holds the Braves back is that they don't necessarily have the historical success. They still didn't have a championship when you were with them, so because of that, I think that maybe not as much, but Bourne has more MLB draft picks than anyone else. They had the most first-round picks of anyone this last year, so at least as of recently, they're the Yankees, Dodgers of the Cape League.
It's been really, really cool. I want to ask about your career, because one of the first things that we were told, Adam and I, when we showed up, is that we, as interns, make it just as far as the players do. So you had a phenomenal career. Tell us about the path that you took in baseball as you stayed in this sport for many years to follow.
It's crazy. I went and worked for the Lake County Captains immediately after I was here, and I was there for 18 years. I was their on-field host. I was their MC. I was their hype man. I loved broadcasting. I just realized for me, sales and marketing and community relations is just what I was really good at, and I was just meant to pump up the crowd, and now I do it for an AHL team in Cleveland, and I'm just an MC. It's like broadcasting life is the coolest ever, though. Like, to be a professional broadcaster, it's the most magical moment you can have in your life, and if you can do it for a team, like I know a guy, Jesse Goldberg-Strassler, he's the Lansing Lugnuts broadcaster. He does basketball, he does everything possible. He writes books, so it's
I got his book in my backpack right here.
Really?
I'll show you. Yep. If you're